So I'm on the IRC right now. I keep my computer down here while I'm doing stuff to keep me entertained. Right now my Xbox Live membership is down, which pisses me off, but whatever. So, you guessed it, Eldar, this video. Warhammer, Eldar, Warhammer. So, this army is mostly completed, and yes, I'm zoomed out on purpose right now so you don't know exactly what you're looking at. My first draft at this army was Ghost Warriors, and it didn't work so well. Didn't really like what I was doing with it. Like, it was cool, but I saw Blue Table Painting's Oceanic Eldar, and I just couldn't stand it because I loved their paint scheme, so I was like, after a while I just gave in and redid my army because I wanted to remodel it anyway. And let me just refresh the page here because it always pisses me off when it goes to a lighter screen. I have to fix that, but too lazy. So I got rid of a lot of the old models. There are some I still have to sell and or repaint for this army. But everything's here. The only thing I don't have to finish this army is another 10-man squad of Rangers and 2 Warwalkers. And other than that, it'll be a full 3,050 point Apocalypse army with a special unit, which is not shown here. But let's go over this first. So normally what we run at my gaming store is 1,500, but there are a couple people that push 750 and 2,000, and then we do Apocalypse games a couple times a month. So this is kind of how I wrapped around this army. I really need 750 to run it correctly, but I can make do with 1,500. It just wouldn't be my kind of play style. Let's start at the top with HQ. Cool, so we're going to get still pics of this with the other camera because it's a much better camera for pictures, whereas it holds almost no video, and it's the opposite for this. So we've got a Farseer and a Bone Singer, and they're both painted quite well. I actually think the Farseer is painted better, but that's because I did it second and spent more time on it, and doing fabric folds on orange is ridiculously complicated. Like, it's not complicated, but it's just a hard color to use, whereas blue, it's incredibly easy. So, yeah. Then we'll move. I'll pretty much always play both of them to get this army to work. And the Bone Singer I field as Eldar. So he's the big 210 point Uber HQ that casts 3 spells a turn and just rapes stuff. Really, they just guide my other units. And, alright, so let's move on down the line to elites. We've got 3 elite squads, a squad of 9 Harleys. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I need Shadow Seers for both Harley squads. Squad of 9 Harleys, and they'll both be 10-man with a Shadow Seer. I give them a Harlequin's Kiss, so they get, what's it called? The Rending, which is always fun. I've seen Harlequins take down Terminators, no problem, and that was just, really? Wow, these are going in my army. So yeah, I'll pretty much always run those. And this got 5-man squad of Wraith Guard. They're destructive. They're a big powerhouse unit. They take a lot of damage. Like, they're a big shoot that unit, kill it before it gets close to me. And toughness 6, so they'll soak up a lot of it, and that's why I field them. But I only use that for normal or larger point games as something for my opponent to shoot at to save, say, the Harleys and the Warwalkers, which we'll go over later. Then at troops, I'm going to have 3 troop squads. There's the first one, squad of 5 Rangers, painted. It's probably the best painted thing in my army. They look stunning. And it's not even that I spent much more time on them. It's just they look awesome. Well, it's the best painted small model, like even better than my HQs. But it's not better than some of the larger models. And so I field a squad of 5, and then another squad of 10, which is on its way in the mail right now. And then just to spice it up, some Dire Avengers, squad of 10 with an Exarch and Bladestorm. So I based this army off, actually, we'll just go ahead and finish it up. a Viper, which I never ever really field at all, ever, because the only reason I have it is because it came in the old Battle Force. If you see that, that's a Viper to the right. So I never field it. It's just it came with a Force. That's why I have it, and there's no reason to waste a model. Just when I need the points to make my 3500 army. There's a Wraith Guard in the back there, which is the best painted of my larger models. Lots of time spent on him though. 4 Warwalkers. There will be 6 when the army is completed, with a full magnetization of weapons and a bunch of weapons on the other table. So that's pretty cool. I'm running a squad of 3 with Bright Lances and a squad of 3 with either Star Cannons or Scatter Lasers, depending on what I'm facing. So Scatter Lasers are okay, but Star Cannons are a great Marine killer. I'm obsessed with them. So I normally always will run the Warwalkers. The Wraith Lord is only if I need the points, and the Falcon is only if I need the points. Same thing with the Wave Serpent, and I usually run the Falcon as the Wave Serpent, but when I have the points, I throw the Dire Avenger squad and the Wave Serpent, and I think I fielded this as a Wave Serpent too, and took the Wraith Guard in it. And that's a pretty effective strategy. Alright, so you're probably looking at this and wondering, how is this 3,500 points? Well, there's a reason for that. It's not. Now it is. Ha! I have a Titan. Yes, I do. And I'm telling you, I had that painted in the Ghost Warrior scheme, and it took forever to repaint it in this color scheme. It was absolutely horrible repainting this thing, but so worth it because it is such a nice model, and I did a really good job blending colors on it. And that's an 800 point model right there. So whereas the other highest point model in my squad, in my army rather, is Eldar at 210. 800, 210, 800, 210. So yeah, it's a very solid army. It can really roll stuff surprisingly well, but it's a hit or miss with this army. You got to strike first with a lot of it, like especially the Harlequins. But the only really durable units in this army are the Rangers, which is why I'm going to field 15 of them, and the Wraith Guard. So yeah, it's a very solid army, but you really got to know how to use it and have some experience under your belt to do any good with it. Like this is my 4th army. Before my starting army was Tal, and I got Necron, then Tyranid, then I sold my Tyranid and Necron. I still have the Tal, and now I'm doing Eldar, and this is my 2nd draft of the Eldar. Alright, so hopefully still picks to come.